Wop tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the crowd fades away, he's the echo of hope at the end of the day. With a heart full of dreams and a voice full of soul, he's the heartbeat of sports, making us whole. Sports talk with Bops, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in this sacred space. Sports talk with Bops, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk with B-Wap, where the passion runs deep. Oh, sports talk with B-Wap, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, B-Wap tells the stories under the bright light. Sports talk, we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk, we sports talk, we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk, we watch, where the passion runs deep.
What's going on? What's going on, family? How y'all doing out there today on this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time? You're watching Sports Talk with B. Watts. I'm your host, Bernard Watt, along with Greg Setter and J.R. Boxing, where we're getting ready to have a good show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about Coach Ryan and his new strength and conditioning coach, Redefining a winning culture at CU in 2025. And if you have any questions that you would like for us to answer, drop it in the comment section, and I promise you, we will get to them. All right? Let me bring up the fellas, and we're going to get right into it. All right? All right. What's going on, Doctor?
B. Watts, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? See, what's up, Greg?
What's going on?
That's no got you too. Are you used to it? Well, I ain't used to it. It's a death trap to me. Boy, it's been a death trap. Boy, I said I ain't got. Well, at least I ain't have to go to work. Work from home, so gotta get out here. Gotta get out here and make it up tomorrow, though. But see, JR, he used to that stuff. We country boy. It don't snow in Georgia, man.
JR got snow down there.
I didn't grow up with no snow in Houston. I think it snowed like maybe one time.
I thought you stayed in Florida, then you moved to Houston.
No. I grew up in Houston. Then, went off to school, did all that stuff, joined the military after that. Now I'm in North Carolina now, but we ain't really get no snow. We got a little dust.
Oh, okay.
Here. We ain't really getting nothing. But Houston, them hurricanes, ain't get no snow
though. What's going on, Miss Phyllis? How you doing tonight? My dog, Miss Selma Johnson. Miss O, what's up? And that Fox. Doing Kelly Nash Williams. Hope everybody's doing all right in that chat and who's tuning in right now. All right. Let's get into it, man. Like the title said, redefining a winning culture in 2025. When you look at the new strength and conditioning coach and the way he been out there doing his thing, I think I got a new video that I can share with the people who tuning in, and then we'll jump right in.
Remember, here. here's the biggest thing about greatness. Greatness ain't about, man, I got it here. Now let me go on. That's what people mess up. You know what greatness is? Come on.
You think you're doing wrong, and then you keep trying to be better, and then you're just great. Or you just do something great, and that's it.
I'm saying, but how I continue to do something good to become great at it. Like,
not mess up.
The consistency part. Like, once you master this form or this deal, I just need you to keep repeating that same deal.
So you don't mess up.
Yeah, so be a master at the fundamentals. If you become a master at that technique, you won. It's very, very important. Like, you have to be a master of fundamentals. Like, everybody think it's this extra. No, it's being great at the basics. Be real good at your basics. It's like one point. Now I want you to master it to where it's second nature. So now I'm out there breaking, I'm driving. Everything becomes master.
When you look at the new strength and conditioning coach, JR, and he said mastering your techniques, how strong would the mindset of the new and old players would be to handle his teaching going forward in 2025?
Man, I'm gonna use the word that he just used with Shiloh, master. It seems like to me, Coach Swasey is a master mentor, right? That first video that we saw, it kind of like, you know, it set an expectation that I thought was gonna be completely different from that first video they showed him, like with the whole team. The way he was like, wake up, stand up, you know, doing things like that. But you can tell that, one, he has that structure to command the audience, the presence of young men, but he also understands mentorship, the way he speaks to them, the way he engages with them to say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you several times. You know the expectation. One thing that said with me that he said on one of the videos, he said, how many quarters in the game? And all of the young men, they're like, oh, it's 4 quarters. They said, well, look, I'm going to tell you, we're going to do 10 down and backs. So I'm giving you the expectation right there. So that mentorship, he's like, I'm not with the mind games. I'm here to build young men, and I'm here to get the most out of you. And I respect that because, like I said, initially, like seeing the video, I thought he should have come in on some rah-rah. And,
Right.
you know, if you come in on rah-rah, sometimes you can lose. You can lose a lot of these young men. But he's coming in and he's like, look, my expectation is to command your attention, your presence, because my resume speaks for itself. But engaging with you to get you to understand how to untap your potential and your greatest attributes as a player and a contributor to this team, I think that's going to be the redefining like catch-all for CU. Redefining, like, how do we get the most out of each and every player to maximize their talent? And I think Coach Swasey, like, he's the guy to do it. I've loved what I've seen from these first few clips that they've shown to him. The one-on-ones, which you're doing, Shiloh, but with the team, that was like so motivating to see.
Yeah, I think pretty much, like you said, when he came in, I think he showed his range, I guess. I mean, he showed he can do the crazy, and then he's kind of like showing that you can pick which one you're going to get here. So I think what he's doing is going to be beneficial. Now, I don't know what other personality we're going to see come out of him. We don't see 2 already, but he got the ability to be a lot of them. So I think the biggest thing is what he's doing right now. Maybe his personality. He's done this a long time, so he know the phases of it. So it's like, why burn him out with all the hype right now? It's not necessary. It's not. He probably can rah him up during the season, but right now it's about building, details and stuff like that. And that's what it looks like he's doing. He has an ability to break down the details, which has been the issue with Colorado. They don't think detail. I don't know on what level. They think big picture, but they don't think detail. Like when you talk about Coach Prime, always try to talk about the details and the small things, and he's articulated, but it looks like this particular trainer is going to have the opportunity to walk it out during this off season on the mindset behind what it takes to do the things that Coach Prime is asking to do. Like, because clearly, I guess these are young guys. Some people don't learn maybe how you raise. Some people teach you how to think structured. Some people expect you to be structured. He's showing them the steps on how to think. So hopefully it translate over in the game. So that's how I look at it. Just the penalties and all that crap. They miss all the minor things, and that's just not how you win. Like the good teams, you said they didn't have as many penalties. They don't make a lot of mistakes. And that's people who do the small things, not just the big things.
Yeah, when you look at the team overall, and I'm sure you watch some of the players from last season coming up to this year, and the new players. How strong would their mindset be to handle his teaching? You think?
I mean, from what has been shown so far, and what I guess can speculate about the players, because I don't know them personally or anything like that.
Right.
But I heard one thing that he said at the end when he brought them all together. He was like, "Man, I was this close from having y'all,
Yeah.
do a few more down and backs." And then he called out one of the players. He was like, "Who's that over there standing by the quarterback?" Quarterback was leaning over, and you just hit him. You say, "Hey, bro, come on, get on up." He said, "Dude stood up." That was Cam Michael, a young man that didn't even touch the field last year. But that just lets you know how Coach Swasey's presence early on is resonating with the players. Because, like you said, we heard it a lot last year. There need to be a player-led team. Like y'all gotta, hone in on the details and things like that. But he was telling them right there in that moment, like, I shouldn't have to tell you to help your teammate. That should just be in you to do. That's your teammate. Just do what needs to be done. Correct it, move on. And so, like I said, I love the fact that he noticed that right off the rip. Because he could have just went on and been like, yeah, I was this close to, running a few more, but overall y'all did well, and just wrapped it up from there. But no, he took the time to, like I said, acknowledge the players. He pointed out a few more. But that one, it just led with me because it had Dallin Hayden. He was like, man, good stuff, Cam. So like I said, for that to be a young guy that didn't see the field, we know Cam Michael's probably anxious to get on the field. He probably wants the season to start right now. He's probably that ready to play. But that's the type of mindset that they're going to need to have throughout, because it's a long way until we get to August. A long way. Right. That's a lot of building of momentum. So I believe the mindset is going to be strong because of how Coach Swasey is going to go about instilling in them. You got to want it more for yourself than anything else. And that's what I hear in his message. Every time, the few times I've heard him speak outside of that first interview, it's been like, how bad do you want it for yourself?
Yeah.
I think them players going to be pretty mentally strong. And then for the crop of guys that they just brought in, they ready to prove themselves. You don't come to a program with the spotlight this big and not be ready to prove yourself. You'll be a fool if you did, because the spotlight's there whether you prove yourself or not. So it's you're either going to look good in the spotlight, like how I look right now in my well-off jacket. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out Bucky. Hey, this another colorway, Bucky. Shout out. Hey, thanks, Bucky. Shout out, man. It's nice. But so you either going to look good doing it the right way, or we've seen it last year where some guys came in early. We thought they were ready, but they crumbled under the pressure and the expectations of how big the lights are for the Colorado program.
Pick out that, Greg. You think some of these guys gonna handle that spotlight?
Well, I think how he ended it was the perfect word, because that's the word I was going to use. I mean, we in the academic world or with the kids, they use that word expectations. And I think some people are really good at teaching expectations. They get the most results, whether it's a school teacher or a coach, anybody teaching anything. It's the people who establish the expectations versus assuming that people know. Some people assume you should know that. You know, you don't been playing ball, you don't play little league, you don't play middle, high school, college. I shouldn't have to tell you that. He's coming in on a very micro level, like you say, point out things to let them know, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Now you should know. I'm not assuming you do know. This is a guy that's showing a veteran. It's like you said, a veteran teacher. You know, somebody who's been doing something for a long time. When you look at how they go about building it, because like I say, what's the rush? It's January. He's not coaching like he's probably gonna be coaching in March, because he's building momentum, but he's not rushing past the fundamentals of it, which is this is how we do things. I'm not telling you what we do. I'm not fussing at you like you know what we do. I'm talking y'all through this crap. This is how we do this. Yeah, this is why we do this. And I'm not gonna be doing this in May. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be doing this in May. And if anybody gonna be doing it, it's gonna be y'all. If anybody else come in here, that's where that coach led come in. Most of y'all should be here, and y'all should be, the standard should be, they should look around and know what to do. This shouldn't have to be said. That's how you build a culture. Like running out the field. They should have said, run out the field. Everybody's like a buffalo stampede off a cliff. Everybody take off running. You're gonna take off running. You know, you ain't finna stand there if 90% of the team run off the field. You ain't finna walk when you're new. You're trying to fit in. So he's doing a good job of setting a tone that you can build on when you get to May and June and July, that you don't be still saying the same crap. He's explaining it right now. I'm explaining it to you. I'm taking the time to explain it to you because I know y'all new. I'm new, but I'm also letting you know this is our standard right here. You know, not just saying it, not putting words on the wall, but I'm gonna show you what it look like. See what he just did? That's it right there. You know how he told him that, how he did that. That's a veteran. You know, that's what a veteran looks like.
Hey, that's a good point, y'all. Y'all on tonight. What's up, Patrick Williams? What's up, D Stone? Now, let's pick it back. I forgot to ask this. Greg, you played sport. You played sport. What's the importance of strength and conditioning before the spring season? And JR, how can you redefine a new winning culture when Travis and Shadua is gone?
Well, I think the biggest thing, this is a hard thing to understand for people who didn't play ball. People don't even work out, don't even understand.
There you go. That's why I'm here.
It's January. Some people right at that edge of that. I'm gonna work out about the end. You know, people use the end right at the end of January when they're gonna try every year to lose weight. People really don't know what it takes to put on muscle or to lose weight. Like from a science, I can tell you exactly how to put on weight, how to lose. I don't have been a certified personal trainer and stuff like that. From not just kind of like what I just said with Coach. Like he didn't play in the NFL, but he understands it. So it's two sides of it. Sometimes you can do it, and some people know stuff to a science. It's beautiful when you can have both. Like I don't done the sports, and then I know it to the science on how the body works, like the importance of stretching and warming up and all of that. Because sometimes people like really about like the sport, but they're not thinking about the muscle preparation for the sport. It's to prevent injuries, how to properly warm up. Because you can see people be all muscular and rip their whole ACL off, and it's like some of that. A lot of stuff is preventable by how you warm up and how you develop that muscle, as far as your training, stretching, and all that. So they talk about getting treatment. So that's what those guys do. They're not in just lifting weights. They're helping them maintain the body, recovery, and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that go in behind that to determine how well your team make it through that season. That's what they paid for. But it's very critical because you got to think about, I remember when I was playing ball, you would go into camp. Let's say you went into camp 215. 3 weeks later, you barely 200. The people don't think about that. You go through, now that's old school count. That's the 2 a day, 3 a days. They don't do that mess now. You know, it's surprising. But you go through count, you're gonna lose everybody. It could be coming yoked up. And you know, you ain't, and another thing, if you're not maintaining that workout throughout that season, you're gonna lose that muscle mass. You come in yoked up, you won't by the halfway the end of that season, you only look like the same dude. You take all that creatine you want, I definitely not finna melt. So you gotta eat. There's a lot of things. Like you watch them boy look at their plates. I'm like, well, you ain't eating enough. You know, because I know how much you have to eat to maintain your weight, and I know how much you have to eat to put on weight. And they ain't enough. I used to have to eat every meal, 2-3 plates a meal to put on weight. Not, man, if you eat regular, you lose weight. If you eat a little bit more, you get a little weight. If you want to put on 10, 50, I had to eat at least 2 plates. I was so used to not eating like that. I would eat breakfast 2 plates that I didn't even want to eat lunch.
Right.
I had to eat 2 more plates at lunch. It was almost like torture. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to dinner. I sure went hungry. I had to do it again. Then I'm supposed to eat like a snack and stuff like that, like a peanut butter jelly sandwich at night. You're not eating because you're hungry. Matter of fact, you be want to throw it up. But if you training like you're supposed to, that's the only way you're going to gain weight. I put on like 15 pounds in a few months after camp. And so I know the science of it. And that's what those guys are paid to do. I'm really wondering, like looking at, like I see Jordan Seaton thing with the fish and all. I'm really wondering. I look at some of their plates, not just the muscle development, but the weight. Who's responsible for that? I know who's responsible for the lifting. Who's the nutritionist? I want to see them because I looked at DJ McKinney grab a plate on Well Off the other day. And it was a cute little 5-star plate, and I'm like. I started telling myself, no, that's Bucket plate. Because Bucket was filming, I said, you know, Bucket be filming food. And he gave it. I looked at DJ like,
Hey, he said he didn't want no eggs, no potato. I said, you don't want no eggs.
I don't remember. I just looked at the plate and I'm like, boy, that looked like something like a nice little restaurant. You on a date. Like, they don't like football. You know what I'm saying? Like, for muscle development, you know, the amount of energy that you burn in and what you put in, you got to eat. So it's a lot of that going in that people don't think about. Same way and me and you was working out. You was like, hey, I want to lose weight. I can tell you, you're gonna either decrease your intake and increase the intensity. You know what I'm saying? That's how we finna cut weight. We're gonna manipulate those things. Or if I'm trying to gain weight, I'm finna I don't really want to cut the intensity, but I'm gonna increase the volume, you know, as far as what I'm intaking in food. It's a science to that thing. And I'm interested in seeing who is that person really, because I don't, you know, I know the weight, I know the people who do that. You grab a little shake after you leave, I know that, but it's
All right.
level.
Okay. So JR, like I said, JR, Shador Sanders gone. Travis gone. Shiloh gone. Cameron Simeon Craig gone. Block Bully gone. The linebacker group gone. That was that. Here, Green, and I've got the other name, but they gone. Bentley, yeah, Bentley. Appreciate it. Thank you. How can the new strength and conditioning Coach Ryan also redefine a winning culture while they not there?
I mean, B-Watts, them names that you name, man, them some heavy hitters, man. Like even to myself, I question like how you go about redefining it. I mean, obviously, as professionals, they're gonna have plans in place, but all of those young men that you mentioned, Shador, Travis, Cameron Simmons, Craig, you got Bentley and Hill Green, Chidozie, those guys were like so, and Shallow, excuse me, and Shallow. Let me not forget Headache Gang CEO Shallow. But those guys were so established as like players at the collegiate level, production wise, accolades. We talking about Travis. I mean, he got the most accolades in college football history as far as an individual player. Statistically, Shador, how he was able to increase year after year in the productivity and the knowledge. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you go and recreate those young men. I mean, because when you use Travis' name, you use generational talent. Generational just don't fall off of an apple tree, you know? So it makes me a little bit nervous, but I mean, I understand like Coach Prime's mentality. I understand his lineage of being a winner every step of the way, wherever he's been, whether it's been as an athlete or in the sports and entertainment world. Like I understand that. So I know he has a plan. But for me, it's hard to like see that vision because those names of those guys you just named, them some heavy hitters, B. Watts.
I know.
Like, I just can't take those names lightly. So the way I look at it, you know, it's day by day, brick by brick. You come in, you instill the confidence early. That seems like what Coach Swasey is doing now. He's instilling that confidence early to say, you the guy. And I'm going to show you that you the guy because some of y'all may not know you the guy. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like we got some outstanding talent on that team, but I think last year we probably didn't see that talent just due to the fact that the guys you just named. Like when we know when the situation is bad, well, hey, throw it to Travis, he's gonna get us out of it. We ain't got that no more. So who we look to throw it to now that Travis is gone? Who we look to, even though shout out to Shador, you my boy Shador, but Shador might have put us in a 4th and 15 situation, but then we'll be looking like, oh man, they gonna pick it up, they gonna get it. You know, so I don't know if I don't know how we replace that, but I know there's a plan in place, and I see it early on the way Coach Swasey is going about mentoring these young men, and like how Greg said, taking the time to call it out. God dog it, that's what right look like right there in front of you. I'm telling you this to your face so everybody understand that's what right looks like. And like I said, I overly appreciate the way he took time to call it out because he could have easily breezed past it and went to the next training session, event, or station, or wherever they were going to go as far as practice. But he took the time to call out multiple players to say, this is exactly what I want to see. This is what right looks like. This is what player-led looks like.
It's another thing, too, that maybe we should look at. Like, I think this new team is going to really show what Coach Prime is made of. People say, you know, he only coaches guys. He had Travis and all of that, which Travis won that the first year at Jackson State, that the second. So, and Silman Craig came with him. So it's like this is first time he hasn't brought players with him, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other side, you can say the same thing with Bucky because you got to think about it. It's not that these players are much different. Like Travis is much different, clearly, the Ward show, and even Shador. But, you know, you're going to have great players in any team. We see that rebuild happen. What we're really describing is the well-off phenomenon. We're describing the uniqueness of what Bucky presented, where you have a college team where it's kind of like an experiment because this is the first team where everybody knew the players like that. Not just like the geeks who sit in front of a computer and, you know, like the gamblers do, know all the statistics. That's like, historically, it always been a certain small percentage of people who just knew everything about every player because that's all they did. But well-off has made the regular person who just go watch a video 20 minutes a day and know the players by name, know them by face, almost like an expert. And if you watch it over months, you really know a lot about your team, even the backups like Ben and the governor, you know. So it's really going to show Bucky's ability to move on and do the same thing for the next group. Like, is what he's doing is replicable. Like, it can't he replicate? Because that would mean a lot for him because he's always talked about how he could take it to the next level and all that. If he showed he can build a brand for another guy like he did Travis, because Travis had a brand, but they put some gasoline on that thing.
They sure did.
They the one who helped him go out there and start really building his YouTube channel. Like they're the only team that really encouraged their players to build up the YouTube channels and stuff, where the players and multiple of them had shows, because that has a lot with their leader, like Coach Prime. So when you look at the fact that if Bucket can show what I did for my brothers, because I was close enough, that was easy. If he can show I can do this with dudes I don't know, what that would mean, because that would be how we describe, okay, how we know these guys' names. Wasn't that their talented was great, because a lot of people got talent, but it's the platform that they've been selling people like, hey, we're gonna give you this platform. Now if he can boost this group up like he did the last group, and his brothers ain't there, that will say a lot. So that's what I'm interested in seeing, because the names are there, the storyline is there. Salter is a guy who can have a great season. You make him the star character of the movie, and everybody.
Greg got my cheat sheet. But you killing my cheat sheet, boy. I said, Greg, tear it up. Both of y'all killing it. I just want to figure out. I don't have it that way. What? I'm finna start with JR. Appreciate it, Greg, for leading in there. Boy, y'all on it tonight. Boy, y'all on it tonight. It's a different kind of show tonight, y'all. I'm just trying to tell these two guys are on it. Want to thank Greg said, I want to thank JR for their expertise and how I'm presenting this show tonight. I'm grateful for that. As Greg said it, JR, but well-off media with that Ralph Tresvant jacket, new edition that you got on. You don't want two weeks in a row. Listen.
This is a different jacket. This is a different colorway. This is a different colorway.
Hey, I'm coming. Hold on. I got somebody in the door. Hey, but listen. Take this before so I can go answer my door. All right, check this out. All right, check this out. As Bucket well off, reach the people, and Uncle Neely put that camera in their face constantly. How they did Shadul and build his brand up, how they built Travis, as Greg was saying, and Cameron, Simeon, Craig, Shiloh, all the games, all of the players that I just named. What do you think? We got two quarterbacks, Greg, JR, that's coming in off of a. Two players really could have been up for the Heisman, even though one won. Mm-hmm. How can Juju and Salter and those three platforms raise their name up in the spotlight? And will they be able to handle? I'm gonna go answer my door. Y'all take that job. Come back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a great question, B. Watts. And Greg, like you said, you went right into it. For those multiple platforms of Well Off, Reach the People, the pregame show, it's all about trust as far as the new players like coming in. Because it's like, I know you, but I don't know, but I don't know you. Because it just came so organically with Shador and Shiloh and Travis, all the way from Jackson State. Because even back at Jackson State, like, we didn't see Cam on Well Off that much. May saw a glimpse or two, but you didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't see, it wasn't a daily, like, speaking to Cam. So for Juju and Kaden, I think it's going to have to be a little bit of trust first. Like, I know you, but I've seen your work, but at the same time, these young men are walking brands themselves. I definitely believe that everybody has their best interests, so that's not an issue. But to not be in the spotlight and then to be in the spotlight, that's a big deal, because you instantly become a household name. Before Kaden Salter got to CU, I mean, I would ask anybody in the chat, like, who knew of Kaden Salter, even though they went 13-1 the year before. Like, people probably wouldn't be able to say like his name, but now it's more of a household name. You know, Juju had a lot of publicity in the state of Georgia and, you know, Florida when it comes to as far as him being a high school phenom like quarterback. But now you're on the national stage and you're being presented by the program to even boost your name and your play style and your play on the field. So for me, I know if it was me going into the team, it would be more so about like trust. Because I saw it in the Reach the People like video. He was doing a workout with or Darius was filming something with Simmons and Draylon. They were catching the ball out the jugs machine. And then the other guy, Williams, like showed up. And Darius was like, asked him a few questions, and then he kind of like, man, I didn't even like introduce myself or anything like that. Like, what's up, man? I'm Darius, you know, stuff like that. So like, it's so fresh. Like, the young man probably been in the program like, you know, a few days at that point in time, but yet like that, those paths haven't crossed yet. And so Darius had to make that introduction. Like I got this camera on, but yeah, man, I'm Darius, by the way, you know, tell the people about yourself kind of thing like that. Because it's about trust, man, and you don't want to rush to like put these guys in front of the camera because everybody ain't built for it. Like we saw what's his name, Benson, came in. He was ready for the camera. You know, we the 50-50 boys and all of that stuff and da-da-da-da. But when the play didn't meet when the bravado didn't meet the play style on the field, then it was kind of like, all right, well, where's Benson? You know, and it kind of left us as fans like, oh, he hurt, or oh, he this, or oh, he that. But it was more so just, you know, he didn't produce on the field. So it's hard to put a guy in the spotlight if they not producing. Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to go see a terrible movie, you know? So for me, it's like a little bit of trust, but at the same time, those players have to produce on the field. And that's where it like works itself out, to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a risky thing because it's like it's all about relationship, and like a lot of those guys, like the one that went to Arizona State, the tight end, he was all talking about what he did at Cincinnati and all that, and it was like a little much because he still was talking about the old school and what he did at Shadoza at Houston, and it was like, oh, we're on a new team now. So you catching the real raw behind that. My old school did this. You can catch the rawness of it. Mateo, we seen the boy from what school was that? Arkansas State, the tight end that was from overseas. He was the main character. The next thing you know, he transferred out. So it's like it's a touchy thing because people may come in with a certain expectation, or the team may have a certain expectation. It can go south. But I think at the same time, that's that like the reality show component of it. But true reality, like, you know, you don't shy away from it. That's what's going on. Then you got that kind of touch and give. How much information do you give away to your competitors and all that? So I think they kind of went more with less about what's on the field to just the lifestyle of the players behind the scene, which is cool because that gives you a chance to get to know the players as well. That's up to Bucky to find that balance. But like you saying, one, that's your selling point. That I'm gonna give y'all a platform. Two, you know, you want to have a platform because you're going to have to sell yourself eventually. Whether you go on to the NFL, you're going to have to, you know, they're going to interview you, try to figure out. You can already sell yourself, have a brand. So that adds more value too, because now you bring in a certain amount of eyeballs that'll help you make the team or get an opportunity or get an endorsement. You already don't establish that. And that's just the world you in. I think at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to it got to be done. Because that's the standard now. It's just gonna be a lot harder because, like you said, their brothers are gone. That you've been like he started that before Jackson State. He restarted it at Jackson State because he showed the old footage. He just wasn't getting paid for it. And then Deion, the dad, said, "Come on back and do that thing you used to do." And it took off, but it took off because people already wanted to see what was going on. They just didn't have the vehicle to access it because Deion is a hot story. So it was perfect timing, like Shadul say, to bring Bucky in there. But that's the brand of well off now. It's not just my brothers. It's about showing the behind the scenes. This was something that's still hot, which is his dad is still there. People want to see. He got to look at it like a movie, like a producer. Like, okay, it was about Travis and Shador. Can they make that was the storyline? Can they do what they did at HBCU? That was the first year. Second year, like, can Colorado actually have a winning season? It's like creating a storyline, story map when you make the movie, a TV show. And who gonna win the Heisman? Because you knew one of them supposed to win the Heisman or both. That was the storyline. The storyline this year is, whoa, what they gonna do without Travis and Shador? Can Coach Prime make it without playing daddy ball? The storyline is already developing itself. He just have to be there to show how that new story developed. He got to find that. It's different for him too, because his brother's gone, just like it is Coach Prime. And it's like he was with them every day. So it's kind of like you have to get over that too. He got to keep his brand like it was bigger than my brothers. And that's where he have to kind of like find that fire or that vision that was automatically already there with those other storylines.
That's a good point, brother. Good point. Good point. I want to talk about a quarterback. Hey, Salt. Check this out before we get into it.
This is the new starting quarterback for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. His name is Kaden Salter. He transferred from Liberty, and this was a genius move by Coach Prime because he landed one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Even Pro Football Focus had him as one of the highest graded quarterbacks going into the 2024 season, and this dude put up big stats, 77 touchdowns for 7,900 yards, and he probably could have declared for the NFL draft and went in the later rounds, but he wanted to play for Coach Prime instead. And he's actually more of a running quarterback. Many scouts have him as the best rushing QB going into this season, but I think his passing ability is pretty underrated. I didn't see a wide receiver break stride during this passing session. Let us know in the comments, will Colorado make it to the Big 12 championship next year?
Yeah. I know we don't have Shador. Shador. But I'm telling you, he should do it. Two is two. But man, when I look at the film of this guy and the pressure that he can put on the defense, if he get that starting position, that's a big if. So I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I'm just saying me. The pressure, throwing the ball, running the ball, something that the Big 12 is really made of. I think Greg said it last time. All of the teams doing the same thing. That K. Salter can present to another team defense and the pressure that he can put on them. When you look at K. Salter game, tell me, what do you see?
I see a very experienced quarterback, man, that can easily move that ball down the field, whether it be through the air or with his feet. Like I said, that to me, I think there's some type of familiarity that Coach Prime may have known about him, being from that Cedar Hill area. Coach Prime, coached in Dallas, Fort Worth. Cedar Hill is very close, remotely close to that Metroplex area. So there may be some familiarity with him when he was in high school, things like that. But when he was at Liberty, he produced. He got on the field and he produced through the air and on the ground. And I know a lot of people, like, when we go back and we look at his stats, like I'll go back to 2023. He threw for almost 3,000 yards. I want to say it was like a little bit shy in the 2,900 yards or something like that. And then he ran for over 1,000, like a little bit over 1,000. And he threw for like, I forget the completion percentage, but it was in the 60s. It was maybe like low 60s or something like that. 30 plus touchdowns that year. Amazing year. I mean, the record showed 13-1. They lost to Oregon in a bowl game, but they went undefeated. He was the American Conference Player of the Year. He was first team in the American Conference and the most valuable player in the American Conference. That is high praise to be out of all the football players in that conference, and you can say it's G5 or whatever like that, still, you the number one or the most valuable player in that conference. So that can be that can't just be lightly stated. And then you go to following year, the production was down. But I did a little research. So 2 of his top receivers hopped in the portal. Gone. Tight end, graduated. Running back, gone. Offensive lineman, left. They had a total of 14 players, including himself. He even hopped in the portal. Kaden Salter
but he came back.
And then he came back.
Right.
So obviously the production is going to be down. He worked with a really great offensive coordinator, Willie Corn, out there at Liberty. He had him rocking and rolling. But when you gut a team like that, when these bigger schools or these young men even look for better opportunities to build their profile, a little NIL money in their pocket, all of those things, obviously production will go down. But he still steadied the ship for the program. He produced another winning record, close to 2,000 yards, another 500 plus in rushing, and they were able to win. So that lets me know that he can win going away in a mile in a shootout, and he can also tough it out when I don't have, my top 2 targets that I lit it up with the year before and things like that. But we still gonna win games. So 7,900 yards, man. I mean, just saw that video clip. That's my first time seeing the clip. 7,900 yards, 77 touchdowns. Like, come on, man. The production's there. It speaks for itself. So I'm excited to see this young man be at the helm of CU. If he starts, nothing's guaranteed. But I'm excited to see that because that is experience that CU needs in that room to keep going in a positive direction when it comes to winning and building a culture and a program at the school.
It's going to be up to Coach Sherman. I mean, at the end of the day, you have all off season, like whatever you got to do to make this thing fit. If that's what you made it fit around Shedeur, and that's what he wanted, great. We don't want to see what happened last year at all. Period. Build however you need to build it, where that quarterback can run. When you got these big tight ends, got 2-3 big tight ends coming in, and do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. You got new linemen, you got tight ends, you got new running back coaches coming in, new line coach. You got a fresh crop of receivers, and it's not different size, good size, speed. You got everything you need. You got no excuses. No excuses. Don't tie this quarterback hands up. It's too many examples. It's 2025. It's too many examples of what to do at the pro, college, every level. If you do what you're supposed to do and put these boys in motion, all that speed you got, you should give people royal, you know what, in that Big 12. Big 12, they really should run the Big 12 because realistically, they still should have one of the top offenses again.
Right.
With this veteran quarterback move. And the fact that you got a backup quarterback, multiple backup quarterbacks, but you got one that's talented. You don't have to hold your breath with, this quarterback have to go down for a few plays, a few series, a few games because he hurt his shoulder, his ankle or something. Nobody finna take no pressure off of you. That's what kind of team you got in your hands. You have depth at quarterback, something we have not really, really felt comfortable with last couple of years. You finally can say, well, I'm not really worried about what's going to happen if the quarterback one can't play because we got a whole nother element. And like you said, Ponder developed like he should behind, or he need to get gone. It's either he need to develop or he need to get gone because that's too much talent sim right there. But if you have that as your number 3, well, Staub, I don't know. If you beat him out, that's where you at right now. You could be a better team if you do it the right way.
That's a good point. Greg, on punter. When you looked at him in that spring game, man, that dude's 6'6". He can see over the line. He can run. He know when to run. I said, dog, this dude look better than Stars to me. So when you look at him, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want him to leave. But man, you end up on the third or fourth depth chart, and if you know what Juju get in there, he ain't gonna turn that back. What do you do?
Get gone.
What do you do? I mean, he can play quarterback.
He can go in one of these group of 5.
Yeah.
And if he was gonna do that, he need to be gone already.
Really, like he won't stay though.
Well, he down now. He can't leave.
Right.
Yeah,
But I'm saying
go to the spring.
He got to, but then he'll be on mid spring, so he behind again wherever he go. Yeah. Versus getting a chance to fight for the position and build rapport.
He just looked good to me, man. He looked really good. I ain't gonna tell him.
He need to go somewhere where if he can't be number 1, he be a legit number 2. Not
Yeah, man. He got talent, man, just to be sitting behind somebody, and especially when he trying to make it to the league. And I don't know. I just have to see that play out.
A San Jose, Fresno, easy. You can go to Akron. This kind of type of school, easy.
Bowling Green, and find a landing spot.
Tulane just gave up their quarterback. Tulane quarterback left. He could just jump in that Tulane right there and say, "All right, man, give my shot."
Yeah, you make a point. Hey, man, listen. Every show I don't talk about this, and I'm gonna keep talking. I ain't sold. I heard JR. I heard Steve. I heard Coach Dre. Safety position. Care about if young Craig gone. I mean, Shiloh gone. They was the fear factor of any team they played. I don't care if they're running back or their quarterback broke loose through the defense or the linebackers. There's a price to pay once you meet Shiloh. Well, he don't wrap up. Name me an NFL player that played the safety position for the last 10 years. You don't see him wrapped up. I got time today. I'm just saying. That team, which I already know who JR is going to say, the two they going to clean up the back end of the defense. Or do we need to go into the transfer portal and see what we can find? Because I'm not sold yet. Maybe I ain't done enough research. TKI told me Tuesday night to keep for buyers. But hey, I want to hear what y'all got to say once again. Maybe y'all don't change your mind. I just want to hear. JR.
Look, B-Watch, if I ain't changed your mind by now, I don't think I'm going to change your mind.
You ain't. Hope you don't say no front side of mine.
B-Watch don't want his mind changed when it comes to the safety position. Look, like I said, for me, the two, I would look at Taufik Byard. Again, B-Watch, whenever you get a chance, just go pull up one of the UCF games.
Let me write it down.
Pull up the UCF, not UCF, excuse me, y'all. USF, University of South Florida. Pull up that game when they played Alabama. It was in a loss, but to me, that was Taufik Byard's best showing at the safety position when they played Alabama. Solo tackles was high in that game. He was flying around to the ball. He was rerouting the tight ends for the University of Alabama when they played. So to me, that was his best game. Other games that I took a look at and kind of just skimmed through. I will say this: it did seem like he got Man, I don't want to make this seem negative, y'all, but it seemed like maybe he was not as impactful in other games. But he still made plays, but it didn't jump out at you like Cameron Silman Craig. So if you go looking and your expectation is, well, I'm looking and this is a carbon copy of Cameron Silman Craig. That's not the case. Totally different system, different scheme, things like that. But the details that I saw from Taufik Byard, again, when I watched the Alabama game, he rose to the level of competition. You know, you got big bad University of Alabama. He rose to the competition and he played a well of a game that game. And then again, like I said, be wise, don't laugh when I said his name, but Carter Stoutmire, I'm telling you, he, as far as like on the field, TK, I said it Tuesday. Sure, there's some things that he got to clean up. That's very coachable things that need to be cleaned up. But effort and his willingness to not give up on a play, because I've seen that from CU players this year on defense. Something happened, they don't run it all the way through. But when Carter Stoutmire's on that field, he'll run it all the way through. He's been doing that since his freshman year. I get it. Like I said, if you're in the slot and you're 200 plus pounds and you covering a guy that's quick, twitchy, fast and stuff like that, man, you're gonna get beat. That's a part of it. But when he got beat, he didn't get beat and the guy scored a touchdown. He got beat. He was able to still bring the receiver down to the ground, push the receiver out of bounds. He was still able to make a play. So now I think the next step for Carter Stoutmire is getting to a point of redirecting those routes or cutting off those routes like T. Cal mentioned, like getting better at that part. Because the other intangibles he has, for sure, tackler. He's like I said, the tenacity and the effort that he plays with on the field, it's there. Few things to clean up. So if we were starting them today, that's who I would go with. Taufik Byard and Carter Stoutmire.
Well, Greg, where the toughness gonna come at, Greg? Where the toughness, where the physicality of them big running backs and them quarterbacks that gonna be running that football in the Big 12? When we got to deal with Iowa State, BYU, Kansas State, Arizona State, Texas Tech, the running backs, the quarterbacks, where will the physicality? Don't say that about the linebackers. Gonna come to that next. From the safety position that Shiloh brought, that Cameron Simeon Craig brought. Talk to me, Greg.
Well, I mean, we've been honest. Shiloh wasn't that like that this year as much as he was the year before. You know, maybe it's injuries and stuff like that, from tackling standpoint at least. And Silman Craig, I think the closest thing we will find to Silman Craig is ironic enough will be Byard. They look and play identical. Byard just may be the 2.0 of Silman Craig as far as size and maybe even a little faster. He's a little more fluid. But Byard, they play very identical. When I seen him play, it remind me a lot how Silman Craig used to look when he was at Jackson State. Just how he just moved around. So now there's some other guys that we're gonna get to see.
Right.
And Branch and Vickers and stuff like that. We know Riley and Johnson came last year. So you have some depth pieces who can put their name in the hat. But I think that those are the guys. Stoutmire showed that he can play closer to the line and in the box like another linebacker. Don't do that mess and put him in the middle field by himself like he's a linebacker, but him being an extra person in the box to support the linebackers and take on, the backs out the backfield and stuff like that. I think that he could be good for that. You got to use people the right way. I still think that a lot of times we didn't use people the right way as they said they would on offense and defense. So you use Stoutmire the right way, then he good. Have him closer down in the box. He can help with run support, stuff like that. But Bayer, to me, he's the closest thing to Sid McCray.
Okay. I got to check him out. I ain't looked at him yet. I got to look at it. So let's talk about the linebacker group, man. Losing Hill Green, losing Benton also. Got 2 new guys. I seen the film working on them. I like them. I think Reginald Hughes, the transfer person in from Jacksonville State, I think he'll be better than Hill Green. It's just me saying that after looking at his tape. He got the length, he got the range. You know, he ain't stout as Hill Green is, but he got the length, he got the long arms, he got some big arms. Dude is fast, quick.
10, 15.
He had 82 tackles in one season. I know he's at the G5 level, but then you look at the other guy, French. This dude had 17 tackles for losses as a linebacker. Had a total of 83 tackles, but he had 17 for losses. That let me know he know how to read, and he was in the backfield, and he was making the tackle. Like we were missing tackles, he was bringing them down. But it's gonna be interesting to me to see where JB stands, how he gonna perform, how they gonna use Webster, and you gotta look at Goldberg also, see what kind of progress he done made in the last season during this off season. How Coach Hart now coached him up along with the other coaches on the defensive side. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at most, really, the linebacker group this coming up this spring. Go ahead, JL.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right there on the head, B. Watts, with the linebacker room as far as what we brought in. I mean, they brought in productivity because that was a question mark the year before. And then Hill Green came in, from Charlotte. So to me, it's kind of like a similar story with Reginald Hughes. Originally committed to Ole Miss. He played at Ole Miss for 2 years, but he really didn't see the field.
Right.
So he left out Jacksonville State, and he got there in that program 1 year and became an immediate impact with 80+ tackles. So the things that I saw from him on film was like some of the things I was like, dog, if CU could have got him the year before last year to have him play this year, I think those wheel routes look a little bit different because he can run at a linebacker 6'2", 230. I would say he could stand to put on, maybe another 10 pounds. I don't know, Greg, because I know
He's 240 already.
Greg.
They got him lifted at 240.
I mean, the last thing I saw him, they had him at 230. That was like from ESPN, but that was when he was playing at Jacksonville State. So that's what I got from ESPN. But I know this right up Greg wheelhouse as far as like, the size, because Greg always talking about the arms of the linebackers and things like that, because the linebackers are there to be the enforcers on the defense. And running sideline to sideline, chasing things down from the backside, that's what I saw from Reginald Hughes. And that's what I saw that we were lacking this past year. Definitely, I mean, shout out to the law firm of Bentley and Hill Green, because they did an amazing job this year when they were on the field together. But when it came to like sideline to sideline stuff, like, nah, if it was far hash and they had to run from far hash to get to the other sideline, that wasn't happening. That's how the running backs was getting them big runs. Now, when they was chasing it down on the short side of the hash, the short side of the field, they was cleaning it up quick. Uncle Steve said medical temps was going up. When they had to chase it down on the far hash, it wasn't happening. They was getting out leveraged by those running backs and out angled, and the running back would get a big pickup. So I'm excited to see it. And then the dude French, man, B. Watch, you said it, 17 tackles in the backfield. That lets me know when he get back there, he gonna bring you down.
Right.
Because I saw it with Webster a few times this year. Webster got back there, he didn't make the tackle. and I'm talking about little brother Western, overly Western. He got back there quick, boom, 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 and missed the tackle. Running back, boom, boom, gone. Quarterback, boom, boom, gone. So with JB, man, I would like to see JB put his hand in the dirt and be coming off the edge, like working with Coach Hilo, coming off the edge, hand in the dirt, get around, use his quickness on them tackles. JB built like an action figure, so I would assume he, one of the stronger players on the team, and utilize his best attributes. But I think JB would best serve the team by having his hand in the ground and rushing from a defensive end standpoint. That's just me. But I'm excited to see that linebacker room. Reginald Hughes, he's a guy, and he can run. He can flat out run, and he can bring you down to that ground. So I like what I see. I like what I think I'm going to see from the running back. I mean, not from the linebacker room coming up. It looked real good. On paper, it looked real good. Real good.
I think that, like one person said there, this is and will be his best linebacker group. The first year he came in, it was build a bear linebacker program. Bentley came in, it was horrible. They were trying to figure out, then Juju Mitchell came in and fell out, and they just really struggled. Second year you come in, Hill Green really helped out a lot, but really it didn't have a lot of depth. I guess because so many of the players were young. These players are aging, and they left Lopez off of there too. Lopez came in last year, the linebacker group. So you have a lot of depth at linebacker and a lot of talent, young talent, which means that Colorado should be good next year and the next year because you just brought in a Marquez Walker. I know B-Watch got want to get on the show here. I hear it from Buford. And you had Hood come in last year, who was one of the top guys in Alabama. So you had him come in with Goldberg last year, and that young, that high school thing, you get them to develop as you behind the Hill Green. If they don't hit it this year, they'll be ready next year. And so you're in a good situation with a core group of linebackers that's young. They can help on the scout team and develop on the scout team. And also, if they get injuries, you ain't screwed. We were holding our breath for Bentley running around like he had his pinky toe shot off or something. And it was in a minute now. He couldn't get out there. If we ain't had nobody else, then we got to the doggone bowl game. Nobody want to talk about that stuff like Hill Green and playing that bowl game. And that stuff showed, it would have showed if he didn't play in the regular season. Because that minute, it would have showed. Imagine what the record would have been without Hill Green. People don't talk about that kind of stuff. Would you have somebody? You lost some games off and running, but again, this is a running back and quarterback conference. Would you have lost Baylor? Would you have lost Texas Tech? Would you have lost Cincinnati? You see those games like that. Would you have won those games where you had them crazy running backs and they're breaking records and they still were losing? They breaking records and quarterbacks running and he knocking people block off. The linebacker thing is a real thing, especially in this conference, because you're going to have good running backs and good quarterbacks. And this is going to be the best group. So I expect to see, this defense built like you got a real linebacker group using the right way. Don't put them in position. Weston need to go and eat his little wheat, get out them hot wings, and put on some more weight, another 10 pounds and perfect what he got. I mean, like I say, he get back there. So he just, so you have some guys that with more development can be some key players on that defense. And like I've said many times, when I look at everybody else's team, I don't know what these folks be talking about over here. But I look at Georgia Tech. I had a cousin play at Georgia Tech. And I look at these other teams. BYU. You have your core linebackers, but they be rotating linebackers. They be playing about 4-5 linebackers. It ain't because they hurt. You be like, where you go for a couple plays? You bring a whole nother group. Big, tall, lean linebackers. They all be big and lean. They ain't necessarily big like Ray Lewis, but they all tall and lean. They all, they all 6'2", 6'3", 230, 240. They all like that. They ain't 250, 260 because they got to be able to cover. And they ain't just bringing them in for third down. They got a fresh crop of linebackers that they rotate. They keep them linebackers healthy. They ain't gonna be running around somebody got no turf toe. Because you get too predictable. You say you gonna doggone bring this guy in, and then you wonder why the real route always come. They already know who coming. You put the same people in for the same packages. They baiting you because they already know the matchup. Oh, we know on third down, they're gonna have this guy in by himself in the middle of the field. We already know what play we're gonna call. So it's like you should already have just a nice little flow of linebackers. It shouldn't be based off of down. It shouldn't be you clear all your linebackers out and put everybody on the line on third down. I don't know what that was, but that ain't gonna fly because you can't be that predictable. But you can't say you don't have the linebackers. That's all I can say.
JR, what would you like CU identity to be in 2025? Running the football, passing the football, balance, offense, tough defense, be known for our defense, or what? What would you like to be known in 2025?
Yeah, I would say just a balanced team. We're losing, guys like Shador and Travis, Jonte, Will Shepherd, Jimmy Horn. Losing guys like that, obviously, you had a multitude of talent when it comes to quarterback and passing the ball. So CU was a passing team. But with those guys gone out of the fold now and a new crop of, young, energetic, unproven talent coming in, I would like to see more balance. Because one of the most experienced rooms on the offensive side of the ball is the running back room. With Kaden, this is what I believe last year where he was a red shirt sophomore, something like that. So he should be a red shirt junior this year. Well, same thing for Augustus, what he was a red shirt sophomore. So he should be a junior this year. So to me, those are the most experienced. That's the most experienced group on offense. That was, especially coming back for CU. And so I would like to see more, more balance. Like Kaden Salter is an experienced quarterback. It remains to be seen if he starts, but I do believe he starts the season. So he's an experienced guy. He knows how to use his legs. He knows how to move the ball with his arm. So I want to see balance, especially when you throw a name like Marshall Faulk around. God, you get Marshall Faulk to come there and then we don't run the ball? I'd be scratching my head like, Pat Sherman, what's going on? Coach Prime, what's going on? Like that to me, that would be a head scratcher. So I want to see a balanced team more than anything. And I want to see a tough, I don't know if they need to be blitz heavy, but a very complete defense. Because last year, the temperament of the defense was more so just man. Like, that's our thing. We're going to be in man, and it's either we win with man or we lose with man. So I want to see more gamesmanship from Coach Rob Livingston when it comes to mixing up the coverage and who we sending on blitzes or disguising blitzes a little bit better. I want to see things like that because we knew when Bentley was coming in on second down, he blitzing. Like you could watch the game and know second down Bentley blitzing. Like it was coming. So I just want to see that, but overall balanced team. Let me get some run, let me get some pass, and let's move that ball down the field.
Yeah, when you look at, I think it's the same thing. You're gonna have to design this thing with your talent. I think that on the offensive side, I think that Colorado needs to get to the point where everybody else is as well. everybody running at least 3 running backs. But that's, of course, you running the ball. But I'm saying nobody banging out one guy like that. And unless they just like the guy who got like 2,000 yards a year, something. Even then, like I seen even up there in Kansas State when they had Dylan and their running back on. I felt like they took him out a little too much. I feel like they were giving us a break when they put Dylan in. I was like, whoo, that boy, kept taking him out. I was like, boy, they really nice. That boy there, they just kept giving him the ball. They could have took off with that game a long time before that. I'm like, what are you gonna put Dylan in? Yes. Is he a senior this year? Oh, he got another year.
I think he got another year. I want to say he's only a sophomore. 31.
Is he 31?
Yeah.
He was a junior.
Yeah, I want to say he was a sophomore.
I think he entered for the draft, didn't he?
I think that was his first year because he was backup running back to the running back to win it.
I ain't for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
Like that. So I'm saying he probably got at least one more year. And
I thought he entered the draft. I thought I saw that. It was him or the UCF running back. One of them did.
UCF definitely was a senior, and the one for Oklahoma State maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he might be coming back then, Greg.
Somebody say he entering the draft. I don't know what year he is.
I thought I saw it entering the draft, though. I thought I saw that.
Well, you did not want to see him come back.
Yeah, let me see. Let me check it out. DJ.
They're saying that he did.
I thought I saw it, dude.
He was a problem. He was a problem. The running back at Kansas was a problem.
Right.
The running back at Cincinnati was a problem. The running back at Texas Tech was a problem. Who else we had? Baylor's all right. They had that else were injured. They were trying to BYU running back was a problem. I mean, they had a lot of good running back. People talk all that crap about Big 12. Big 12 probably was one of the most well-rounded conferences. I mean, because they had a big name. Like sometimes the name put on a little more weight than like Ohio State, Kansas State. But you see what Arizona State went and did to Texas. Like Scatterboo was a problem. So it's like people keep playing around with that Big 12 because they really sniped each other. And they really didn't even do a good job of that. All of them only lost a couple games in the conference. It was a very well-balanced conference. Nobody conference was as balanced. Most conferences are top-heavy, bottom. Top, bottom. It's really no competition, like that. Like when you look at the Big Ten, you're looking at Ohio State, now Oregon, Penn State. That's who you're looking at. And Big 12 used to be like that with Texas and Oklahoma. Like who gonna win? So Big 12, I don't know, man. Because even the teams that were losing, a lot of them was in the top 20. It was in the top 20. All the way to the end, they didn't lose that many games. Colorado lost. They ended up losing ironically enough, they lost to another Big 12 team in the little bowl game. But you're talking about Colorado lost 3, another team lost 2, another team lost 2. And then you look at they all was in the top 20. You ain't giving them the SEC type of respect. But I'm glad that you see what Arizona was able to do. Because I think they were well-rounded because they had quarterbacks who could throw and run, running backs who's running over 1,000 yards, and they had pretty good defenses. And that's what Colorado is rounding themselves out to be. If they could do the right thing, they can have a quarterback who can run and throw, who can you can do that blitzy stuff you did on Shador. Running backs who are stout, you got enough of them, but you ain't worried about, you got some good running backs. And then you bring in a couple good tight ends. You're gonna have 2-3 tight ends that can all do it. You got a bunch of good receivers. You got a good core linebackers. You got a good core D line coming back. We got some good safeties. You got some good corners. What I'm describing is a good team.
Yeah.
They should be at least what they were last year. The difference is gonna be, like we said in the beginning, is that can that coach get in their head for them to learn how to think about the little things like watching film, looking at nuances, not getting penalties, not giving up the big play, like just always been airheaded and just you do real good and you do real bad and you do real good and you do real bad, all that. tripolar extremism. Stay consistent. They will be hard. It will be a hard team to beat in the Big 12.
I think so too. Greg hit it right on the point, man. If they can be more disciplined, I think they're gonna be
All
on.
the other teams lost their big running backs. Kansas lost their big running back. Kansas State lost their big running back. Arizona State lost their big running back. I don't know about BYU. Those running backs was carrying those teams.
Right.
Now BYU got all their running backs coming back.
They whole team coming back.
They got all their running backs coming back.
They got their whole team coming back.
Yeah,
whole team.
Hey, even though they're gonna be 25 and 27 years old, they coming back.
They're coming back.
They're gonna be the team to beat. But you gotta think about this. Like a lot of the other teams, yeah, they got the good players, but like UCF, they losing they big time running back. So Oklahoma State, I think he gonna go ahead and get up out of there.
Yep, Texas Tech.
Colorado got an opportunity to go ahead and run it.
Yeah. You right. Hey guys, we got 9 more minutes. Hey, want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. You can watch the Sports Talk with B. Watts. I'm your host, Bernard Watts. We got JR Box and we got Greg Sander. The only thing I ask that you do, if you haven't subscribed to Sports Talk with B. Watts, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever I go live and drop a video. Also, go over there on Greg Sander. Subscribe to his channel. Hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever he go live or drop a video. Okay? If you're a sponsor, if you would like to sponsor Sports Talk with B. Watts, contact me. The information at the bottom of the screen. I will be glad to take care of your business for you. Also, if you're a sponsor, if you want Greg Sander over there on his YouTube page, Instagram, X, check him out. If you want to be a sponsor for his show, contact. I guarantee. I promise he'll be able to help you out. Lastly, let's look at this. Coach Prime effect, JR. He still hasn't signed that contract, Greg. The Prime effect for Colorado is right here on the screen. 2.26 million followers on social media, right? Merchandise sale. You see what the increase is. Universal application is up 51%. Black African American students up 51%. And when you look at the millions, direct economy for the community, and that's $10 million, guys. And what is missing from that I seen on the report, JR and Greg, they made $31 million off season tickets this year. Yeah, I got time today. If Coach Prime don't deserve at least $10 million per year, I think he should be the highest paid. This is just me. But the things that he brought to the community, I seen a video surfing over there on X. They were showing the stands in 2021. Bruh, shoot, we got more people here watching us than they had in the stands, man, back in 2021 versus 2023. So, I don't know what to hold on. I heard they had a meeting today, but I'm anxious to see what came out of the meeting today. But I really think this dude ought to be at least $10 million a year, if not more. Can you imagine when you first got there? You remember the story was told that they didn't have the money to pay him, so he'll have to market himself. He betted on himself, really. And he put all the work in so he can pay himself and the staff member. And now they bringing in all the money. Man, they should have just walked up to Coach Prime, gave him a blanket. You fill it in. You tell us what it's gonna take. Because I'm telling you, JR, Dallas Cowboys ain't hiring no coach yet. They can interview all they want. They can interview JR. They can interview anybody all they want. You supposed to interview. JR, can you imagine Sports Talk with B. Watt talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders every day. What?
Greg. Why,
Ah,
Greg?
boy.
Why? Why?
Can you imagine me and Greg talking about Coach Prime in that D with that cowboy hat on? What? Hey, he's smiling, talking about, I got time today. But JR, serious though, JR, when you look at these other coaches, I know I keep asking you that, but that contract ain't signed, fellas. It ain't signed. It ain't signed for a reason. I know Coach Prime, brother. I see what Star again at Texas. I see what Dabo again. I see what Kirby Smart again. Them top three. When you look at the rest of them, bruh, now Coach Day, Ohio State, he gonna get a raise because he won the chip. I get that. But bruh, Alabama, LSU coach and Kentucky coach, and Prime ain't getting but $5 million a year. He the 37 or 38 highest paid coach in college football. Jerry Jones is working to see, can he go up that ladder, hit Shador, and boy, this thing gonna be back and pop. I know you don't want to talk about it. I know you don't. He ain't signed that contract. Jerry Jones ain't doing that for interviewing, trying to see what Prime gonna do. Yeah. Talk to me, JR. What should Coach Prime get? If you the Regis and the DA, how much will you offer Coach Prime? And I believe they're gonna offer him probably about 8 or 9. He still ain't signed. I believe that. I believe he
Yeah,
want more. He deserves more. My dog deserves $13 million. I'm gonna go and put it out there. He deserves $14 million a year. Ain't no coach
14.
2 more years. Hey, 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 he needs to be the high coach. Hey, listen, JR. He ain't been up there for 2 more years now. I'm trying to tell y'all now. Y'all say he gonna be there 5 and 10 years you want. Coach Ryan gonna be there for 2 more years.
I mean, we're
31 million ticket sales. That ain't counting the merchandise, concession stand, the community. What's so hard, JR?
I'll say this first. He ain't going to Dallas, B. Watts. But come on.
All right, don't never say, hey.
I can't stand the Cowboys, Coach Prime. When you listen to this show, please do not go to the Dallas Cowboys. That just hurt me to my soul. Cause I'll be done, man. I'll be done. But as far as like when it comes to CU, man, and them, pay the man. Pay my coach so he ain't got to be on Tubi doing the shows and doing everything else. Pay Coach Prime so he can just coach. Because if they pay you $10 million, you good. You ain't got to do nothing else extra, just coach. So I would just, if I'm Rick George, you got to be out there in the community hustling up this money like you did when Coach Prime got there 2 years ago to say, we ain't got the money now, but we're going to find it. You better find it. You know, whatever the terms are, I would come to the table, you know, around 8, 8.5, and then put some incentives in there to get it to, you know, 9.5, 10 mil, you know, depending on how the season go. We in the Big 12, get to the college football playoff, all that stuff. Extra incentives in there. But I understand from a university standpoint, when B. Watts, when you put that demographic up to show all of those schools, like Colorado ain't got the money like them other schools. Them other schools, them top 10 schools, they got that long paper. Now, CU got money, but when it comes to that part, them boosters down there in that community in Georgia, Texas, Florida, like they live for football. I don't know if the Colorado community or the money people in Colorado live for football like the boosters in Georgia, Texas, Florida live for football. I mean, you talking about Ohio State, they just won a national championship. The lineage of Ohio State, all of that stuff. So that's the thing when it comes to me. That may be the biggest holdup. They probably just can't get the money. I mean, they struggled 2 years ago to get $31 million together. So if I'm giving a message to Rick George, find the money, sir. Find it. If it's 8 to 10 million, if we going back and forth on $1 million here or there, I mean, the economic boost, the stimulus package, who is Coach Prime, has came in to that area and provided a multitude of revenue for the university and for the greater areas of the university in that town. So profit sharing is a big thing. You got to give Coach Prime his sharing of that profit. But the way the coaches get paid is through the boosters in the community and all of this stuff about how they raise money. So I don't know. Whatever you got to do, sell some church fish plates, wash some cars on the weekend, whatever. Find the money. Find it. I mean, y'all are having these balls and all of this stuff and selling $200, $500 plates for some dry chicken. Find that money. Find it. You know, so that's all I got to say about that. I mean, Coach Prime ain't going to Dallas, but he needs to be paid accordingly. And Rick George, you need to find the money. That is your job to find it as the athletic director. So get it done.
That's above our pay grade at the end of the day. So I don't know what's going on. I know Coach Prime is the master. He did it with his football contract out of college with the Yankees and the whole situation with the Falcons. He's a master negotiator when it comes to these contracts. So he knows what he wants, but at the end of the day, it's also just keeping that conversation going. I thought that conversation was over. I mean, it's been like, you know, matter of fact, I read some today that I don't know, was it true? You know, people be putting twist on words that he said that he turned that down. I saw a little headline said that he declined the job. So it's like, I don't know. But I do think that as long as he's not signed, the speculation is just going to continue to go on and on and on. And it's kind of, could you imagine the waves you create if he did leave? You know, all this stuff we talk about and the players, and it'll create so many different situations that it would not be good. But I think outside of that, if we can just kind of step outside of that, I think that Colorado has a good season ahead of them. That right there could be detrimental.
JR, last question. Check this out. Tennessee Titans got the #1 draft pick. They said they're looking for a generation talent. Will it be Shador? Will it be Cam? Or will it be Travis Hunter?
Look, when you say generational, I mean, that's Travis Hunter. I mean, look.
They need a quarterback, JR. They ain't got no quarterback.
I know. I've watched Tennessee twice this year when they played my Texans. And they beat us once, but we kind of beat ourselves. But the other time we beat them, that guy who over there, he can't get it done. But generational players come around once in a generation. That's why they say generational. And I mean, that's Travis, man. I don't know who would get Travis the ball. as far as when he played receiver, but you can't
Don't
pass
throw it
that
to
up.
himself, I guess.
Yeah, you draft him and you figure that out later, right? So, or you probably try to pull what the Texans did, like you draft Travis and then mortgage the house to bring Shador in, pick number 2 or 3 or something like that. But to me, it's no other. It's Travis Hunter, man. Tennessee Titans, they need a lot, including a quarterback. But when you can get a player like Travis Hunter, gonna come in, he's gonna make an immediate impact on your team. He can get on the field early and play. You can't pass it up. And not to say that Shador or Cam cannot get on the field early and play. I mean, i.e. CJ Stroud, i.e. Jaden Daniels, 2 African-American quarterbacks came in as rookies, got on the field, and turned the NFL upside down. We didn't see numbers like that since when Cam Newton was a rookie when it came to passing the ball, getting their teams to the playoffs, things like that. So, but with all that being said, man, to me, it's Travis Hunter. Generational talent. Tennessee Titans need too much. And I think Travis fulfills the needs, and they'll figure out how to get him the ball or how to use him on defense or whatever the case may be. But they need a player like that to move the needle of that organization.
Yeah, that's cute. You need him, but it'll be a waste because like you say, you can't give him the ball. He only be frustrated. He'd be like your boy out there, Adams out there, and with the Raiders, a year or two ago. It's like, you got all that talent, but you can't throw you the ball. It's like it's wasteful, and it's only going to irritate everybody. But you get a quarterback, at least you can build around that. Maybe you can awaken some of the stuff you have. Maybe you have some pieces already there, so they probably be better off. I saw something today where now all of a sudden they talking about that Cam Ward could be going there, and that'd be interesting that he jumped to number 1. That would be really weird, because he's not the top quarterback and he's not the Heisman winner. So for him to sneak to number 1, that would be weird. So it almost would suggest that you would think that they would take somebody like a Shador. You would think, because he is the top quarterback. And, it might be a good setting for him down in the South. They didn't really want him up there in the cold. So we shall see. It probably will make more sense to get the quarterback and get Shador at quarterback. You passed up Shador, and I don't know, and because they're trying to say that Cam would go, and then to the Texans, Travis go to Cleveland, which would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then Shador go to the Giants. That's what they're throwing around. I saw that on something on my computer earlier, so we'll see. That'll be weird.
Yeah.
I rather see Cam.
Go ahead, man. My bad. I didn't cut you off.
I said I'd rather see Cam go to Cleveland. It's like he'll fit in Cleveland better than the other 2.
Man, you put Travis out there in Cleveland with that dog pound, catch that touchdown, run into them dogs. That dude had to put that dog in. That dog missed in the mouth. Boy, that will be a sight there, boy. Jump up in the stand, count that touchdown. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all tonight. That will be an awful sight, boy. Appreciate y'all tonight. Watch Sports Talk with B. Watson, along with JR Boxing Greg City. Go ahead, JR, give your last word, followed by Green.
Look, what I'll say is that for the team, for CU, going forward, and for Bucky and everything we talked about, just to sum it up, like this to me, this upcoming year is bigger than last year, because it's the uncertainty of knowing where your landing is going to be. Because when we knew we had those names that B. Watts mentioned early in the show, those outstanding players on the team, we knew where the landing spot would be. Now we don't know where the landing spot will be. But what I do know, and it is in Coach Prime I trust. So he has a plan. We're going to see the plan unfold on Reach the People, on Well Off, on the pregame show. We will see it unfold. And I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm excited to see the challenges that Coach Prime has ahead of him without having his crutch of his son and Travis, Shiloh, Cam. I'm excited to see what that looks like now. But yeah, that's me, man. And Coach Prime, don't go to the Cowboys, man. You heard it from JR. Look, I'm rocking Well Off gear, Coach Prime. Do not go to Dallas. Don't go to the Cowboys. I'm not buying no Well Off gear if it's Cowboys. Look, I'm not doing it, Bucky. I'm just telling you that right now, bro. It's not happening. But shout out to them, though.
Last word, Greg.
You could easily make them jackets like that blue with that black and that gold be white. So they can easily change the color. But yeah, it could be a good season. If we still waiting, I think B. Watts is still holding on to hope for the Cowboys, and they ain't helping by not signing. So we just gonna let it be and see how this thing go. I'm just Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all follow at Greg Said It. We're gonna be talking about all this good stuff. We go live on Sundays, be here on Thursday. So if y'all haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe over there, and we're gonna see where this thing go.
Still waiting on that invite, boy.
I ain't even seen you in the chat, man. I don't even know you.
They don't know it's there. Ooh, what a shot. That's a shot there, boy. That's a shot there, JR. He trying to say, do you really watch? Do you watch?
I'm gonna start putting stuff in the chat and be like, drop
He a secret watcher. He a
secret watcher.
Drop the link.
Like somebody else we know.
Most of the time, on the playback.
We gonna call him another name. We'll call him J.R. Dog from last year's.
Yeah. Most of the time I watch it on the Monday morning.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, man. Don't forget to tune in. Man, I might do one tomorrow morning, but if not, to y'all Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate you, fellas. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right.
All right, Greg.
All right.
Be watching.
Hey, 4 trips. Get your mind right. You already know what it's like. It ain't like it's tough. You got it. Tough people do tough shit. It ain't gonna be easy. Get your mind right and attack the workout. I know a lot of y'all was thinking a lot of stuff going on in your head. But this is a good life lesson. When you get into it, sometimes it ain't what you thought it was gonna be. We gotta have a better positive mindset before we start off. But that's how winning comes about. Proud of you, bro. I see what you're doing. He calling guys from down there. Remember, right here. Hey, y'all slide. Pitting them right there. I seen stuff right now that's already happening. We on championship caliber. Winning comes from within. We win within, nobody can beat us. That's how it goes.